I spent $30,000 to conduct my company's retreat in 2022. I think I made one of the worst mistakes I could make. Here's why. Hey, I'm Different Colin, and this is My Thoughts Season 3. Before I share that mistake, let me give you the context to the story leading up to this company retreat. For this, I need to bring you back to 2017. You see, 2017 was a very special year because it was the first time my wife and I became an employer officially. And prior to that, right, it had always been the two of us running the whole show plus some unofficial partners or contracted vendors. I wouldn't really call those copywriters, content writers, and SEO experts our team members. Speaking of this, please don't intentionally give the impression to others that you have a team. When your team consists of only freelancers whom you pay per gig, vendors that invoice you when there's work, or partners you split profits with, they technically don't belong to you. So don't give the false idea that you're running a big team when you're just a solopreneur running things on your own. It's a huge lesson learned for myself, and this is another story for another time. Okay, back to 2017 when we had a team member, a real employee who's on payroll. She's our general VA or virtual assistant from the Philippines at that time, and she's really working in Learns as a staff. Then after more than a year later, right, in I think it was late 2018, my wife and I decided it's time to meet her in person, and we did. So we flew her and her daughter to Malaysia, and we had a wonderful week together. So my daughter and her daughter clicked a lot and really well at that time, and our relationship with this staff couldn't be better since. The important thing to note was that that week was really a holiday and no work was done. Then fast forward a few years to the beginning of 2021. And Learns grew to become a team of 8, including 4 full-time staff from the Philippines. Now, suffice to say, I wanted to revive the possibility of a physical meetup that year, but due to the pandemic, it wasn't possible as the borders weren't open yet at that time. So in mid-2022, when the world gradually accepted COVID as an endemic, right, I mooted the idea of a meetup again. But I wanted to do more. I wanted it to be a company retreat. Now, by that time, Learns was around 11 packs in total. This was excluding our interns and contracted freelancers. And so it would be quite a hefty bill to do this retreat. But since the company did relatively well the year before, right, I wanted to really pursue this. At first, the plan was for 4 of us full-time team members from Singapore to fly to the Philippines. I estimated to do so for around 2 weeks, and the bill would come out to be around $12,000 to $14,000. Now, it's quite a bit to invest, but I think it's still manageable. However, come August of last year, right, I suddenly decided that it was better to bring our overseas team members to Singapore. I had some reasons to do that, but it's not relevant to review in this video. But instead, right, of just flying the 4 Filipino team members to Singapore, I thought it would be a great idea to sponsor their family members to join in for the trip too. So the company retreat became a 2-week affair involving 9 overseas members plus up to 7 local packs from here in Singapore. So why 2 weeks? Well, I decided that since it's the first time every one of our foreign guests would be in Singapore, and especially since there are many young children too, let's maybe have a few days of fun touring all the main attractions we have here. I mean, I wanted to be a great host. So I set around $15,000 for the events, and around 6 weeks before their planned arrival, we started purchasing the air tickets and reserving the hotel rooms. Boy, did I underestimate the prices of flights and accommodation at that time. I mean, our retreat was scheduled from mid-November to early December, and this was the time when almost the entire world was coming to Singapore. So air tickets became like 50% more expensive, and hotel room rates doubled. And since I was committed to the retreat, right, no choice, I have to bear the higher costs. So come the day when the first of our team members arrived, it was 18 November. Then slowly, progressively, the rest came. By the 23rd of November, every one of our foreign team members were here in Singapore with us. I was really elated to see many of them for the first time after nearly 3 years of Zooming with them behind the monitor. And two of them exclaimed, "How come I'm so tall?" So for many days, they became tourists here, and I thought I did a great job hosting them and their kids. Now we went to all the major attractions, Gardens by the Bay, the zoo, River Wonders, Night Safari, MBS Rooftop, Capital Spring Rooftop, Art Science Museum, and like half the attractions in Sentosa. We took the duck tour and the big bus. We dined in restaurants and also tuck in local fares at hawker centers, including Bedok 85, where you never see foreigners there. Oh, we also did a 10,000 step challenge on one of the first mornings too, but big mistake that one. Again, another story, another time. Anyway, I even took them to meet our clients whom they have chatted with only on WhatsApp and edited the videos of. Clients like Bin's Automotive Group and Joel. And of course, some of our Excellence team members also took time off to catch up with them. So many days were devoted to these, like visiting attractions, eating, walking tens of thousands of steps, eating again, snapping pictures and taking videos, eating some more. I mean, they really eat a lot, even the children, but I think I digress. Then we had like 3-ish days left to do the more work-related stuff, like team building games for one morning, a team photo shoot on the next, and the proper annual planning where we really brainstorm a couple of ideas for the direction of the company in 2023. Oh, I also made our staff write a letter to themselves, which will be sent back to them in a year's time. And on the last day of the whole retreat, right, we did a barbecue actually here. And that was the only day it rained, and barbecuing in the rain proved to be really difficult. But it was a symbolic end to many days of fun, being a tourist for them, and being great hosts for us, and everybody feasting like crazy. All in all, right, on the 4th of December, when the last of our team members left, the company retreat officially came to a close. And by that time, everyone settled back into work mode. We were like unofficially closed for business for nearly 3 weeks already. Now we had a ton of backlog work to catch up with, plus the shoots we pushed away during that time, right? We had to fulfill them before Christmas. And yes, talking about Christmas, right? Because Christmas came around 2+ weeks after our retreat ended. And then, you know, during that time we were down again for another week. And then the credit card bills started rolling in. 5K plus for accommodation, mind you. I mean, it was only for 3-star resorts only. Then 6K plus for air tickets, another 5K plus for all the attractions, and all the charges from the restaurants. Wow, each one was around $200 because there were like 10 to 12 of us dining at any one time. And we also had like grocery bills. And adding in the nearly 3 weeks of lost work, right, which I still fully paid everyone's salary for, the whole retreat costed just shy of $30,000. So today, after some 3 months after our company retreat in 2022, I still felt like I made a grave mistake. The reason being, I thought the ROI from the retreat wasn't high. Yes, I think it's important that the Philippines team meet our Singapore team for the first time. And for all of the Philippines team members, right, it was the first time they met each other in person also. So the experience alone, knowing each other's quirks and idiosyncrasies and what makes them tick, right, and by having fun, by eating with them in person, I think this has been really great. But the lost productivity was another thing altogether. For 3 weeks, we couldn't do our job shooting videos or editing them. Some clients genuinely became impatient, waiting for us to deliver their already late end products. But the cherry on the cake, unbeknownst to many of my Filipino crew, I was also disappointed with another one thing. But another story another time again. So what was that big mistake? Well, if you think that it was the $30,000 bill, well, not really. I mean, yes, it's a lot of money, especially for my small business, but money, it can be made back. So if it's not the money, then it must be the lost productivity, right? Well, not really too, because honestly, we made it clear to our clients that we won't be able to attend to them during that period. And I had factored in the downtime too. Well, if it's not money or time, what then is the worst mistake I made? Well, frankly, the worst mistake I made during this 2-week, $30,000 company retreat is I call it a 2-week company retreat when it is really not. Strictly speaking, right, the retreat portion where actual work such as the team building, the annual planning, and even the team photo shoot were done, that was only 2.5 days. Every day else was play. And so when I lumped both the work and the play together as a 2-week retreat, it felt to me like very little had been accomplished considering the lost time and the huge bill that came afterwards. What I should have done, and perhaps you should too if you're planning your own company retreat, is to separate the touristy portions with the actual work retreat part. I should have termed the fully sponsored attraction surfing days as an incentive trip and the 2.5 days as the company retreat. So this way, I reckon the cost of the retreat would be a lot same, like maybe below $10,000 or even below $8,000 for the 2.5 days. And everything else, the days and the funds spent for the incentive trip, it's just that as a reward. And perhaps, this way our foreign team members might even appreciate the trip even more, knowing that their hard work over the years were officially recognized and rewarded upon. I mean, look at those financial advisors with their incentive trips, right? They took many pictures, they proudly posted them and boast about that reward. It helps their client recognize what they have been doing and how they have been working hard, and everyone is happy. So going forward from this year, I will no longer have 2-week retreats, not even a week. At most, we have like 3 days of playing team building games and planning for the subsequent year in a resort. And then for the performing team members, they will be rewarded with an incentive trip complete with air tickets, accommodation, and some spending money thrown in. This way, I won't have any heartache, productivity won't be compromised as much, and our team members can better enjoy their reward. So, what do you think? How would you be running your company retreat? And if you're working for a boss, right, would you actually prefer an incentive trip that's separate from the actual retreat? I love to hear from you. So let me know in the comments below, okay? Meanwhile, do subscribe to our channel for more great content. In the next video, I'll be sharing my experience of lazy and soft Gen Zs. I'll see you there.